Welcome to Naija Super Fans Forum, the biggest and the best football show in Africa. My name is Olafemi Ashalu, and once again I say welcome to the show and Happy New Year to all of you wherever you are watching us from Ghana, South Africa, Cameroon, Australia, Canada, London. Once again, we thank you for going on that awesome journey with us last year. James Agberebi joins me in the studio. James, once again, Happy New Year. We've not seen physically this year. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Femi. It's a good one. We were able to make it to 2023.
Yeah,
I think
it's
been a while we met in the studio.
In the studio, yeah.
It's been Zoom, but the most important thing is
you're looking really fresh. I think you enjoyed the holidays. You're just telling me that you
I
went
just did the best I could. Just that little time. I just had to have fun with friends, family. Then when it gets to this period, the work starts again. So that little time, I just said, okay, let me just use it for myself because I know that I'm coming back.
And it's really telling you.
We just did the best we could. So that's just
so
it.
Arsenal and the top of the Premier League, and of course James' face is shining. Of course, our producer is also an Arsenal fan. Everyone is looking really jiggy for the new year. Okay, let's quickly give you just a peek into what we'll be discussing on the show today. We'll be going to Ghana, where, of course, the Black Galaxies are continuing their preparation for the 2023 CHAN tournament that will be kicking off this weekend in Algeria. And, of course, the Black Galaxies, they played in the series of friendlies they played a goalless draw with Algeria, the host. So it seems that the Black Galaxies, they are really serious preparing for this tournament, and they will be facing Mozambique tomorrow in another friendly. That will be the fourth in the series. So we're hoping that at least for the first time, this trophy can come to West Africa. And again, we'll be talking about the Black Queens who have opened the camp for the 2023 so big qualifiers for the Africa Cup of Nations in 2024. That camp will be opening today. So the Black Queens don't want to begin to do this screen. Of course, talking about the best midfielder, maybe in Premier League or in Europe, Casemiro, Thomas Partey, and Fabinho. Who do you think is the best? Of course, because that trended in Ghana last week, because some are saying that Thomas Partey is the best of these three, but he's not being given the due respect because he's African. Vincent Abubakar, we heard that Al-Nassr have terminated his contract because of the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's going to be a full package for you today on the show. James, let's get started. Once again, welcome to the show. Unfortunately, Kado Gundare couldn't join us, but subsequently, he will be on the show. James, let's get started. The Black Galaxies, they really seem to be fired up and ready with the focus to win this tournament. Of course, the third friendly in the series. First, they defeated the Egypt under-20. You remember, Egypt will be hosting the under-20 Africa Cup of Nations very soon. And of course, they defeated Al-Ahly 3-1. They defeated Egypt under-20 2-0. And now they played a goalless draw with Algeria, who will be hosting the CHAN. And there is another friendly tomorrow against Mozambique. I think the GFA has really done well. They've shown that there is an intention in putting this team together and giving them a focus going into this competition.
Yeah, the game against the Algerians, very good result for them. Playing against the hosts, for this year's CHAN, and playing out to good.
One of the favorites, you can say.
Exactly, So I mean, it goes to show that the GFA they've lined up everything. They've given the team the best preparation they can have, and the players too. They are showing that sign that going to this competition, they're not just going there to make up the numbers. I remember the last time they were in this tournament was in South Africa 2014 when they go to the final. Remember they defeated Nigeria in the semi-final. Unfortunately for the Black Galaxies, they lost to Libya on penalties. So they're now back in the competition again after eliminating Nigeria in the playoffs. They had to qualify through penalties. So they've been doing well, and I don't know. One of the players he got injured against Algeria in the friendly game. So I don't know. I don't know the situation of whether it's just a minor something. So, but good one for the team. They've been doing well. The friendly games, they've been showcasing what they can do or what to expect in the tournament. And I believe that they are going to be one of the favorites because they are not new to this competition. Like I said, at the last time they qualified for this tournament, they made it all the way to the final. So and they will be parading also Afriye.
They are free. Thank God that at least, despite the fact that he has signed for FC Zurich, like he will be playing in the
exactly.
tournament.
So it's a good thing. So at least you have that opportunity to. Though he went to the World Cup, but he didn't get to play. But it was a good experience for him.
But we saw in the friendly against Switzerland.
Yes, and he gave a good account of himself. So I mean, the friendly games, the game against Mozambique. I hope none of the players will get injured, because this is not the time you want to start losing players, because the tournament is so close now, and it's so bad for you to lose some of your key players because friendly games. Find the friendly games being arranged to fine-tune tactics, look at the players and how they approach games. So it's not an avenue for you to start losing players. So I'm looking forward to the Black Galaxies. They are going to be one of the best teams, one of the toughest teams, one of the favorites to win this competition. They've never won it before. And I think going by the way they played during the qualifiers, remember, I think they defeated Benin Republic
before they faced Nigeria.
And it shows that this team, they've been together and they know each other. And I believe when the competition proper starts, I mean, they're going to do very well.
Okay, so the Black Galaxies will be playing their first game in Group C against Madagascar on January 15th, then subsequently against Morocco and Sudan. James, let's talk about the Black Queens. They were not at the last AFCON, right?
Yeah.
And I think they've been trying to remodel the team. And of course, the coach of the Black Galaxy, I'm talking about now.
Black Queens, you mean?
Yeah, the Black Queens, rather. He's opened the camp now, so he's going to invite 2 batches of players. And of course, the players, they'll be camping at the Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence at Pram Pram, beginning from today. And this forms part of the journey towards the 2023 WAFU Zone B Cup of Nations and qualifiers for the 2024 African Women Cup of Nations. James, I think the Black Queens cannot afford not to qualify for that tournament, because as we saw in the last AFCON hosted by Morocco, you saw that other things are really coming up, because whoever thought that Zambia would even deny Nigeria a bronze medal at the competition. Look at Morocco. South Africa, okay, South Africa, they've been in the mix, in the picture for a long time. But look at Zambia, look at Morocco. Whoever thought that would ever happen?
Well, the Black Queens, for me, I think they are one of the teams which that I thought would have won the WAFCON, but unfortunately it never happened. They've played in the final, I think like 3-4 times.
A number of times, yeah.
Unfortunately, they always come up against the Super Falcons, and that has not been palatable for them. I remember for these Falcons that even eliminated them from the last qualifiers.
Remember we talked about even the
qualification
qualifiers that
exactly. Because when you pit the big teams against each other, I mean they're going to knock themselves out. So I believe this WAFU Zone B qualifier, at least from what I want to believe, is not going to be getting the team, just one team from that zone. I think it's going to be a tournament format. I don't know.
Maybe the 2 teams in the final.
Yeah, the 2 finalists
in the under 17 and under 20.
Yes, so I believe that's the pattern they're going to use. And if they should use this pattern, I want to see the Black Queens qualify alongside Super Falcons. I believe Super Falcons too will qualify, because the Black Queens, they've come a long way. I remember I watched their very first game, qualifiers, in 1991 for the World Cup that was hosted in China. It was the Super Falcons that still eliminated them. So it goes to show that Ghana they've been around for a very long time. Even the first WAFCON edition in 1998, they made it to the final. Unfortunately, they lost to Nigeria in the final 2-0. Even they were the first African team to beat the Super Falcons. That was in 2003 edition of the WAFCON, hosted here in Nigeria. They defeated the Falcons 1-0 in the group stage. When they got to the final, the Falcons got their pound of flesh. So the Black Queens, they have a lot of, it's as if they have a lot of catching up to do, because it's as if they've...
That's what I'm saying. When we see the likes of
Ghana, the likes of Zambia, Morocco, South Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, among all the WAFCON titles,
it should be like Nigeria,
Ghana. Yeah, I believe, I thought by now they would have won like 3-4 WAFCON titles, because they were one of the biggest teams. Aside from, they were the second African team to qualify for the Women's World Cup. Yeah. That was in 1998. They qualified alongside
it should be Nigeria and
Ghana. But I mean, it's as if they lost their way, or I don't know what really happened. As if the GFA didn't really pay much attention to them, because they have quality players who have proved themselves in the past. You know, so they have a good league, and I believe if they can just for once just try and put this team together and give them the right preparation, I believe they have what it takes to go far. Remember the Ghanaian team, the under-17 World Cup, they won the bronze. They were the first African team, the junior team now for Ghana. They won bronze in the under-17 Women's World Cup. You know, so it goes to show that they are quality players from the women's side of the Ghanaian football. So let's just see what happens. Let's see what they will do in this qualifiers. They're one of the teams you look forward to when it comes to the WAFCON, because I believe they have what it takes to give Africa very good preparation. We have seen Zambia, we've seen like what we said, we've seen South Africa. They won the WAFCON, fine. Not taking anything away from South Africa, you know, but Ghana. I mean, when you're talking about women's football in Africa, you cannot talk about. There's no way you talk about.
We should not be talking about South Africa and Ghana in the same
breath. I'm not trying to put South Africa down, but Ghana have come along with it. They've paid their dues, but it's so unfortunate that they've never won the WAFCON. But I believe if the GFA can give them this the very good preparation, just like what they're doing with the Black Galaxies, the Black Queens have a very good chance of. Who knows? They might even win the WAFCON. Nobody said they can't do, because they've been to the final like 3-4 times. Unfortunately, they always come up against Super Falcons, who always have that edge over them.
Okay. So according to Ghana, the objective is to create a fluid selection and to scout in future players with the national team coaching staff. The performance of players in the Ghana's Women's Premier League. So the Ghana as Women Premier League will form the core of where the pool of players for this campaign will be taken off. Okay, let's talk about maybe arguably one of the most controversial debate that I've seen online in recent times. Like I told you, James, we had the likes of Thomas Partey, Casemiro, and Fabinho.
Yeah.
Of course, we know what Thomas Partey can do. We've seen what he has done with Arsenal this season. We saw the role he played in the Black Stars qualifiers for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But these are, I would call it maybe a poll. Yeah, I should say a poll. Some said Partey is better than Casemiro or even Fabinho. They say he is African. That is where he is not being given the
recognition.
Yeah, the recognition. That's the word. The appropriate recognition that he deserves, James. I know you're a national fan, but truthfully, objectively, of these three, who do you think is or maybe in the order of who do you think is best now?
Femi, is very difficult, because these three guys, for me, they are world-class players and they've proven themselves. And we've seen them play. They've played to the highest level. Casemiro has been in the Madrid team that dominated Europe for like 3 straight seasons, and he was one of their most outstanding players. Fabinho was part of the Liverpool team that won the league after many years, you know, and he helped them to win the Champions League, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup. Partey won the Europa Cup, won the Super Cup also for Atletico Madrid. You know, so it's always difficult when you try to, you know, start saying this player is better than this player, or they are all world-class players. So it's always very difficult. I mean, people will always come up with all this comparison. It's as if...
James, you see the way I'm looking at it. You have to play politics.
No, you know, I'm telling you.
Who do you think is
It's very difficult. Best? It's very difficult. I won't say Casemiro is better than Partey because he's a Brazilian. Fine, we know Brazilians, they have world-class midfielder, but that, you can't take that anything away from.
The same position.
They play in the same position and they have their own qualities.
But they still play in the Premier League.
Yeah, I know. So for me, if you're looking at who has done very well in the Premier League, well, I can't say. I can't rate Casemiro because this is his first season. You know, Fabinho has been in the league and we've seen what he has done for Liverpool. Partey too, due to injuries and fitness issues, but this season alone, he has shown that he's a world-class player. He's one of the key guys, one of the backbone of Arsenal. There are even fears that if Partey should get injured, forget about the Arsenal attack. They're going to crumble, and that's one fear I hold, because I know what Partey does in that midfield. The moment he went off against, what's it called?
Newcastle?
I think Newcastle. I think there was one game against Brighton. Immediately he left.
Okay.
The pressure was was massive for Arsenal that day. You know, so from, like I said, I don't know how to stick my neck out to say who is better. For me,
maybe our fans,
these three guys, I remember, what is it called? Fabinho played for Real Madrid. He didn't hack it at all. You know, he had to go on loan before
Monaco?
I think, yeah, Monaco. Before he eventually went to
Liverpool,
Liverpool and found his feet. Partey played in that same La Liga, and he was one of the best midfielders. He played for Atletico. When Atletico was, you know, one of the strongest teams in Europe. Casemiro, you cannot take it away from him. He's been in part of a Madrid side that have been so dominating, you know, so massive, and he was not, a small player for them, you know. So like I said, it's always difficult. But if a gun is pointed to my head, they say, okay, in order of, how will I put it? Just arrange this player from 1 to 3.
How good you think they are?
They are all good for me, but
okay.
If, like I said, if the gun is pointed to my head, I will say, okay, number 1, I will go for Casemiro, then I'll go for Partey, then Fabinho. I think I've done justice to
That's
that.
interesting. Okay, see, no.
That was my own
no sentiment now.
Selection.
Our fans around the world, please, can you help us with this? Casemiro, Partey, and Fabinho. In order of how best you think they are, please, can you help us? Who do you think is the best among these 3? Or you can put them in order of how you think, okay, this is my number 1, this is my 2, number 3. From all over the world, please let us know what you think. James, let's talk about Al-Nassr. I think it's the most talked about football club in the world now.
Yes.
Because of CR7. And $200 million. James, if I got $200 million now, I don't know what I would do. I think I'll just charter a plane from Nigeria to maybe to one island somewhere and just maybe cool off for like a month. I'll put off my phone. Okay. But let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. $200 million a year, James. $75 million in salary. Then every other one will come in the shape of his image right and all that.
Yeah.
And because of him now, we heard that Nassr have terminated Vincent Abubakar's contract because, of course, they cannot have more than, I think, 8 or 9 foreign players in the team. But is that right, James? Because I don't know. I don't know how it feels. Moral, in terms of being a moral now, is it right for a club to just terminate? Because you already knew that we already have, we've reached this number. So we can no longer take another foreign player.
I think this thing is, this issue is...
I don't know how Vincent Abubakar will feel right now.
No.
But it's obviously one player,
no,
all animals are not equal.
A lot of people, Femi, a lot of people are taking this thing in the wrong way. They're looking at it like, okay, because Abubakar is black, that's why...
He's African.
Africa, black, whatever.
If Vincent Abubakar was... No. Wait, James, if Vincent Abubakar was white, or from Europe, from Spain, we saw he scored one of the best goals at the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
But Abubakar is not Ronaldo.
You said?
Abubakar is not Ronaldo.
But he's a human being.
I know he's a human being, but see, for me, this world is not a fair place. That's one thing you need to... Okay, remember when Ibrahimovic...
in love and war, right?
Femi, remember when Ibrahimovic joined United? Anthony Martial had to surrender number 9?
Forcefully.
I don't know. He had to surrender. The number 9.
Anthony Martial said Mourinho didn't tell him that he was going to collect his jersey. For Ibrahimovic.
Maybe that was a bit disrespectful. But for Abubakar's case, I think there was an arrangement before, and I think he already planning to leave Al-Nassr. So Ronaldo coming, maybe he now made it easier for him to. But the way people are now looking like, oh, because Ronaldo came. Then also okay.
But it was because
who are we going to kick out? Let's take out the African player.
If Ronaldo had not signed, okay. Do you know that I've forgotten his name now? The highest goal scorer in the Saudi league is a Brazilian who is also a foreigner. Yeah. Why didn't the club terminate his contract?
That's what I'm saying. That I think there was an arrangement, and Abubakar was planning to leave. And I don't know how long he has spent there, but I think it was time for him to leave. So Ronaldo coming now made it easier, but people are now taking it in the wrong way. Last if Ronaldo now came, then I'll say, okay, you Abubakar, you have to leave. But I don't think there's no official announcement.
I think when you say terminate, Manchester United
mutual agreement. Mutual agreement.
Yeah, but it must have been that one of the parties must have maybe must have faulted on maybe a particular level of agreement.
Yeah.
Manchester United terminated Ronaldo's contract.
Yeah, we all knew what happened. Yes.
But what did
and that's what I'm saying, that Abubakar from what I gathered, is planning to leave Al-Nassr. So Ronaldo now, I think it now coincided with him planning to leave. So maybe they're okay. It now made it easier for the club to say, okay, since you're one of the foreign guys in the club and the way the rules, the way it has been laid out, okay, you have to give way for Ronaldo. But like I said, no official statement yet. But credible reports, say that he is going to leave. And people, we Africans, they always take things like,
to leave.
Because Ronaldo came, I don't think they're going to disrespect Abubakar like that because Ronaldo came and they now say, okay,
but that's how I feel, James.
That's how you feel.
Ronaldo told
but
there's
no concrete
reports, Ronaldo
evidence.
told the club that it should be treated in the same way every other player.
But
we know it is not true because I don't know whether you've seen the palacio that Ronaldo was giving.
Yeah, I saw everything. He
was giving four sports cars. Now the country has even gone to bend their
rule because of
Ronaldo.
I understand. Look, Ronaldo going to Al-Nassr, even to the Saudi, he's not just going to just play football alone. There are so many things that attach to Ronaldo's contract. It's going to make that league very attractive, very.
And it has to come at the expense of termination. Even if Vincent Abubakar wants to leave,
Femi, that's why I tell you that there's no official. To me, I believe all this is just speculation that because Ronaldo came, they decided to kick. It's as if they kicked Abubakar out because of Ronaldo.
That is what it is looking
like. But like I said, there's a kind of an agreement, and they're going to pay him good cash. They're going to get good cash for this. You know that. So it's not as if because Ronaldo came, Abubakar, they just tossed him aside. That's the way people are now making it look like. So for me, like I said, and I'm going to hold on to that. I
was not pleased when I saw that report.
Because that who reported it. If there are certain media houses that when you go to their publication, I don't want to mention it, that the way they coin their headline, you think.
But because when you say terminate, James, it means the club, it means we do not want to any longer.
There will have been an agreement between both parties.
It is different from mutual agreement that is contract that is terminated by mutual agreement. It is terminated because the club, they are trying to free space for.
But this is not the first time we've been hearing things like this. This is not the first time because Abubakar that went to Al-Nassr, he would have gone through he knows what the rules state.
But it's not, so it's not his call. It should be the club. If the club knew that they already reached that what do you call it?
Quota.
Then why sign Ronaldo when you knew that it was going to come at the expense of having to terminate a foreigner? And I'm sure Vincent Abubakar is not the only foreigner in that club. There are other foreigners who are not African.
Like I said, Femi, before they arrive at this decision, they would have looked at whose contract is about to wind down. And I don't think they're going to do that to somebody who just joined the club, a foreigner. I don't think they're going to do that to him. So Abubakar, like I said, maybe his contract.
If Abubakar
the details of his contract.
If Abubakar has got 25 goals this season,
Abubakar and Ronaldo. You always go for. Despite his age, Abubakar is 30. Ronaldo is 38. But when you put them side by, I'm not trying to
I'm sure
rubbish Abubakar.
It's just for the marketing. It's just for the marketing.
For the marketing. And
it's just for the marketing.
Femi,
it can't be for football reasons.
It's about you're talking about Ronaldo joining Al-Nassr, Abi?
Yeah.
That's not what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's about the money. You know what? The kind of investment Ronaldo is bringing to that. Remember what happened to their Instagram page? From 800,000, you skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Can Abubakar do that for them? So like I said, I'm not trying to rubbish Abubakar, but what I said, Abubakar's the details of the contract, I think it was about leaving the club. That's from what I gathered. It was about leaving the club, so it was so easier for I think the whole thing that made it easy for the club to allow Abubakar to leave.
Okay, so please, what do you think about Al-Nassr terminating Vincent Abubakar's contract because of Ronaldo's arrival? Just because the club do not want to, maybe float the quota system for foreign players in the team. So they have to terminate his contract. What do you think? But I feel it is not right. I feel it is not right. Well, it is the club's decision. I do not have any stake in it, but I feel it is not right. James, quickly as we prepare to round up now, let's talk about maybe one of the crazy things that I've heard. Last week we talked about the use of juju. Kwesi Appiah coming out to say that how juju almost ruined his career. Now this a pastor in Ghana, Reverend, so to say, Reverend Owusu Bempa, has come out to say that in 2004, the first edition of the CAF Confederations Cup between Hearts of Oak and Ashanti Kotoko, he said that Ashanti Kotoko lost because they refused to wear the jersey he fortified for them. And he also said that he told them not to substitute Charles Taylor in the final, but they went on to substitute him in the 81st minute. That was why they lost. James, I remember all your comments in the last time when we talked about Akwesi Appiah, but this is sounding like it is a norm. It is something that it is acceptable in that society, because now I think men of God, and I don't know, he said he fortified it. I don't know whether he fortified things with the Spirit of God. I wouldn't know. But James, it sounds crazy every day.
You know, like I always say, this when so-called men of God come out to make statements like this,
remember in Ghana we've had a number of them. Remember, even before the playoff,
before the World Cup,
before the playoff, the playoff between Nigeria and Ghana, some of them said the Super Eagles will win. Some of them said if Ghana wears a particular color of jersey, they will lose. There's nothing we have not heard. And again, he is coming out to say that Ashanti Kotoko lost 8-7 on penalties after a 2-2 draw in both legs because they refused to wear the jersey he fortified for them.
Like I tell you, Femi, I don't take all these things serious. All these people who come out, they're just looking for cheap popularity, cheap publicity. They just want to be known. They feel that okay, football is one sport that is very popular, so why not tap into it and enhance their own popularity? You know, so you know. It's a free world. Anybody can say whatever he or she likes, you know. So for me, whatever prediction or prophecy he came up with, he had no bearing on that game. It was destined that out of Accra,
Ashanti lost or out of hope.
It was destined that they're going to lose. So it's not as if it was his prophecy or because he asked them to wear one jersey or to why did they substitute for Charles Taylor. He had no bearing to that game. The winner was destined. And that will happen. So let's leave all this fake. I mean, they are fake prophets. They are fake. They have nothing to do with football. If you predict, let them come out and tell us when Ghana is going to win, whether Ghana will win the World Cup or even this AFCON. Because the last time Ghana won the AFCON,
if he has not seen it, he can't say anything.
Yeah, he's not going to say anything. The last time Ghana won the AFCON was in 1982. So let him come out and tell us so that at least let's know when the waiting will be over.
James Agbere, it'd be good to see you again. Thank you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure,
Happy New Year to you.
I wish you the same, Femi.
You did not do well for not inviting me to that beach party. Okay, viewers around the world, thank you for staying with us. Of course, in the second recording for the week, we'll be bringing you closer to the action regarding the preparation of the Black Galaxies for the 2023 CHAN tournament. We told you that they will be playing a friendly against Mozambique tomorrow, and we'll be bringing you, of course, how the blow-by-blow account of that friendly, because it seems the Black Galaxies are really serious about winning the first CHAN for West Africa. Remember, it's been mostly in the North Africa. So this is the best place to leave it today. So until we'll see you on Thursday, I remain Olafemi Ashaolu. Bye for now.